Hi ladies and gentlemen, well today's another one of those serious videos, and this is strictly to the military and to the people who want to hear what a former military officer has to say to it. I want to point out here real quick because I'm remembering something that I wanted to say. Lieutenant Colonel Allen West came out, and actually because of what's happened with Afghanistan, with the military saying we can't stop crimes from happening, and specifically the rapes of young boys, that none of us should join the military anymore, and I agree. I've actually been saying that for a long time. And why? Because our military is used around the world in our name to do horrible, oppressive, aggressive things. They don't do what they're supposed to do, and then they tell you that they're doing something that they're not. The worst type of omission is the omission that's a lie, the lie of omission. Well, I won't philosophize more on that. I think I'm going to do that pretty much in what I'm going to read to you here today. Again, this is to the military, enlisted officers, general officers, warrant officers, civilian bureaucracy, all the way up through the secretaries of the services, the Secretary of Defense, the President, the entire command structure. Because it's time we call this for what it is. The proof is in the pudding. So this is to you. And yes, I am angry. So, the Russians have done in days what you could not do in years? Is this proof of incompetence by the U.S. military? Or are you complicit with the crimes of the New World Order, the Central Intelligence Agency, and the White House? Your own DIA former Chief General Flynn implicated that, endangered his life and that of the lives of his family. Is this strategy or criminality in which you are engaged? It's not strategy, it's criminality. Oh, you say, we are subject to the policies and orders of the politicians' decisions. We are subject to civilian control and orders. Really? It amazes me you cite the Constitution when it suits you and the military intelligence security complex. But you don't say that you'll stand by the Constitution to defend it when it does not suit the New World Order, the CIA, and the White House. You have even engaged in the development of plans and training for your attack on Americans who stand by the Constitution you supposedly took an oath to protect. What did you do in Katrina? And yes, I know those were National Guard primarily, but they're still part of the military outfit. They seized weapons from American citizens in violation of the Second Amendment. And they did it because why? Oh, I'm following orders. I have a job to do. We executed Nazis for doing that kind of thing. What would you do if the White House suspended the Constitution? Before your responsibility to obey the orders of the President is your oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. To say I am just following orders or I am just doing my job is cowardly and criminal. Oh, we have rules of engagement placed on us. That's why we could not win Vietnam, Iraq, or Afghanistan, you say. Really? Or is it really you are part of and complicit with the rest of the military intelligence security industrial complex, ensuring your job security by promulgating perpetual warfare? I am not disparaging honest and courageous soldiers, but the brass is certainly corrupt, and most of the senior officers, senior NCOs, and certainly the likes of the service secretaries and the Secretary of Defense and the civilian bureaucracy are corrupt. You are the hired guns of an evil and nefarious oligarchy, not the defenders of liberty, life, and the oppressed, and certainly not the defenders of the Constitution nor of the American people. And to those who think you are, I quote Cicero, quote, that kind of courage which is conspicuous in danger and enterprise, if devoid of justice is absolutely undeserving of the name of valor. It should rather be considered as a brutal fierceness, outraging every principle of humanity. And that's from Cicero, The Offices, Book 1, Chapter 19. Is ours a military that is a force for good, as the U.S. Navy so claims in its recruiting efforts? If you think so, where is the evidence? The fruit of those labors? What have you wrought? While in military schools, I was not taught that the military abides and defends the Constitution and liberty. No. I was taught we are here to force our will on the enemy. What enemy? And is it for good or for evil that we do this? That is the defining difference. I saw over the course of my career a military more concerned with its existence and power than its rightful purpose of that existence and use of power. I saw a military used to effect social change in the greater society, not to ensure the Bill of Rights. I saw a military willing to sacrifice the very people, things, and principles it was supposed to protect. The Russians have proven your conspiring and deceitful ways. Discipline and cohesion in the military and to its command is necessary. But collusion and lies, murder for gain, and treason is not. King Arthur said it best in the movie Camelot. Not might to right, but might for right. I'll add a little name calling here at the end for anger's sake. And just to know I have this human side to me. You are what my friend Brand Thornton says you are. A bunch of damned criminal pussies. American people, your military is not representing you and your values as far as the Constitution and Bill of Rights is concerned around the world. As I said in my last video, the American people have turned from the principles that allowed God to protect us. And we are at the mercy now of psychopaths and sociopaths because we, the people, want our comfort zone, not the truth. But back to you, military, even if the people are that stupid, that ignorant, that laissez-faire, you still took an oath. You still have the God-given responsibility that you took upon yourself to stand not for the president, not for the Congress, not even for the officers appointed over you, but to the Constitution of the United States, the Bill of Rights, and all that that stands for. If the tree is poisoned at its roots, it dies. If a spring of water is polluted at its source, the rest of it is polluted. If the head is rotten, the body dies. The decency of this country is in the people, but they have been rotted out from the top down. If nobody else will stand against this, you must. And if you fail to do so, the destruction will be upon your heads.